One. Oh man, it's another Friday and another drink. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Booze and BJJ podcast. I am your host, Thomas. I think that's my name. I don't know what my name is anymore. Today we have a panel of three with our regular friends, Frankie and Wole. I'm drinking the last of this Christmas morning stout. It works. After this, I gotta buy something else. Um, Wole, how's your week going?
Oh, it's going all right. Got a few trainings in this week. Went to class tonight. Pretty light class. Like mostly white belts.
Mhm.
Yeah, this hasn't been a bad week. I am drinking mystery cup, mystery solo cup. It's just bourbon and coke.
Oh Lord.
I do need to find I need to branch out. I need
Yeah.
so any mixologists out there, yeah, come find me.
I think I'm gonna do a little homage to my granddad and get like Gremanier and mix it with Coke because we used to drink that once a week when I was younger. Anyways, not the point. Frankie, how's your week going?
It's going good. Serious training since the competition is coming up next week. Been trying to eat healthy, and I am only drinking water for the meantime. Got a couple injuries during this week, so I had to take it easy a little bit so I can recover. But other than that, we're still on track for the 22nd. So
Good, good, good.
that's
So the primary thing that I wanted to bring up today is actually a video that Frankie sent me, but it goes along with a theme that we've been kind of regularly discussing in the last couple of weeks, and that's aggression. Now, I always tell beginners, especially, to calm down. And part of that is, when they first start rolling, there's like a misconception that they have to be hyper aggressive in some of the guys and girls that usually start, and they miss a lot of things. They miss out on
Mhm.
techniques. Their skill acquisition is actually sapped, in my opinion, with the level of aggression they attain. Now, when they throw all that back and they calm down a little bit more, then you can see the wheels start turning. Then you can see that they're starting to play mental chess when it comes to jujitsu.
Mhm.
But yeah, so Frankie, you want to talk about this video real quick?
Well, let me backtrack a little bit. Something
Sure.
that had happened this week on Tuesday night,
Hmm.
when we're doing the judos, and once again, me and that that what's his name? I forget his name, man. There's these guys.
Batsura?
Yeah. Well, he kept tossing me, and I just went full anger mode, and I mean, I got my ass handed to me, but that I think that was dumb of me because I was like, and Matsusugi said it to himself after class, like, be relaxed. Don't be bullheaded because it didn't work out for me. One, this guy is a high level, sambo and judo, and he's throwing me half across the room. And even you said it, Thomas. You're like, yeah, calm down. But yeah, with this video that we're about to see, man, when I first saw it, man, I kind of got a little bit angry, and even me as a white belt, I kind of know when to pull back and how to show respect. Like, this kid needs to be taught. For me personally, I think his blue belt should be removed and go back to white belt.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I said
Yeah,
in my solo video, I would have kicked him out of
yeah,
my gym.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Just
it's not fair. I mean, okay, someone had a one up on you on one technique. Okay, so, back off a little bit.
Yeah.
is
Let's
this
put.
is this some is this someone that's is this someone that's known, or is it just like random
Well,
person?
well, it's a random. It's a video I saw it on TikTok and whatnot. So, and I showed it to him, and I can relate to some of these anger times because some of my best friends now, um, we've gotten into it, like bad into it, bad in sparring and technique. And it's like, why did I do that to him? You know, I mean,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, but why did I have to do that to him? Now we're like the best friends, you know, like whatever. But um, that is something that I should never do, you know, especially me. I'm a big guy. I could really hurt somebody if I wanted to, you know. So
Yeah, and the thing that bothers me about this video is that dude is making it sound like um somebody of a lower belt level shouldn't be able to get any kind of one up on him. But that's not how it works out. There's always going to be somebody who's stronger, bigger, more skilled,
mhm.
more sneakier than you when it comes to techniques. And that person at any particular situation could be somebody lower ranked than you.
Yeah,
You know, you're a white belt. You've caught me how many dozen times? And you've made me work out of it. And Wole is one rank below me. And he is not easy. You know, he squishes me all the time now.
yeah,
So, you know, I have to work for it. I have to work out of it. And
yeah, and that,
that's
yeah,
the name of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think also it's like, it may sound cliche, but you can learn something from every belt. And, getting pissed off when a lower belt one ups you, you could have a bad day. The lower belt could have a better day than you, or they could have better technique in that one, better skill in that one technique. But the way I look at it, by getting angry that a lower belt bested you, you miss an opportunity to learn from that situation.
right.
Exactly. Yeah. And you
Like
know, go ahead, Frankie.
yeah, there's a old saying, man. Like a true martial artist is never not learning. You know, even if you have to go back to basic, you
Yeah.
got you're always learning something. I'm always trying to learn something. I'm always trying to do some cool technique, or I see something like like the judo guy on Saturday when he had me on that arm bar
Hmm.
from top mount, and I'm like, yo, like, what do I do in this situation? And we all talked about it. And I was like, okay, I didn't get frustrated. I was like, wait, hold it right here. Let me go call a higher belt. I called a higher belt, like, yo, show. Instead of me getting frustrated, like, yo, I'm pissed off because
Mm-hmm.
this guy that has no stripes come up in here and just do this to me. It's like, I'm
Hmm.
not gonna get mad about that. I'm gonna be like, yo, Thomas Masugi, yo, what do I do in this situation? And this is where I learned.
Yeah. I mean, I think also what you have to take into account is the attitude of the person
Mhm.
doing it to you. Like if they're just out there just to, bust your balls, or like just to prove a point, then that that's a situation where you could be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna ratchet up the aggression to put them in their place. Or you just like walk away from it and just say, I'm not gonna deal with this person.
Mhm.
So I think if the intent is kind of malicious or just kind of a way of showing off, yeah, I think it's reasonable to ratchet up the aggression. But if it's just like, hey, they're good at this technique, then it's an opportunity to learn.
So the thing about the guy that Frankie's talking about is that he's a high level wrestler and he's a high
Mhm.
level samboist. So him sparring with beginners, white belts, you know, somebody who does isn't as experienced in grappling, isn't really a challenge for him. And he's also very competitive.
Mhm.
So when he's rolling with Frankie or anybody else, he's he's trying to be at a level where he can get a workout and where he can actually feel like he's um, getting some good practice time in.
Yeah.
But the problem is, since he's so competitive, a lot of other people, um, a lot of less experienced people don't know how to handle it exactly,
Mhm.
and they don't know when to tell him, "Hey, perhaps don't do that because that's kind of dangerous."
Yeah.
So,
Or like
like,
dial it down.
yeah, like
Yeah.
dial it down, right? So
There's yeah.
there is a language barrier with him,
Mhm.
but you know, he's actually been very good about listening to things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think that's fair enough that, if someone's competitive and they're in their they're in their like competitive mode, I think it's okay to tell them like, hey, dial it down. I'm down here. I'm just looking for kind of a workout, just a drill technique, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Maybe later on we can move it up a step or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when I get that you're in competition mode and we gotta push hard and you're gonna get injuries and stuff like that. But there's times where you're like, hey man, like yo,
Yeah.
dial it back.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's kind of weird, but it's like being in a relationship. You got to communicate with your partner. I mean, it's
yes.
true. You know,
Oh
you
God.
gotta, you have to let them know, hey, I have these injuries. Let's go light. Let's flow roll. You have to communicate with them.
I think we're gonna have to make a podcast
Yeah.
well how martial arts and relationship work.
Are similar.
And
That's a whole different topic.
If it doesn't work out, then you find yourself a side partner.
Oh God, no! Don't do that. Oh God, that's the worst. No.
I mean, if you think about it, like
for all the women and people that are in a relationship, that was Wale's idea.
That was his idea.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
You know what? As I think about it, he does have a point. If you want to go to a seminar, a competition, or even if you want to go to another gym's open mat, you got to talk to your training partners. Hey man, what you doing Saturday? You got some free time? You want to hang out? Want to roll?
Hey,
you cheated on me with that blue belt. How dare you?
Look, I've had situations. You all know who my training partner, has been for a long time. He moved gyms, but sometimes I'd walk into a gym and I see him training with someone else, and I get a little bit jealous.
What if it's that one guy that you really don't like? You're like, ooh, I don't like that guy. I really don't like that guy, and he's training with him. How dare he?
We're never training together again.
And
then he comes over and he sweet talk you like, come on, man. Look, man, it was only one time thing. You weren't around. Blah, blah, blah,
it didn't mean anything.
It didn't mean anything. It will never happen again. I promise.
Well, one time, like a couple years ago, Frankie was going to go to a gi class with me on like Wednesday. And I've popped in on a Tuesday just to stretch, and I see him in no gi. I'm like, I am heartbroken. Why are you in no gi? I got jealous. No, I didn't.
Okay, real quick, off topic. What do you like more, gi or no gi?
Go ahead, Wally.
I prefer gi just because like that's how I started out. I would like to learn more no gi stuff, but it's just I feel that I need to like no gi. It's really fast paced. I like that about it, but I just don't feel confident. I like my grips.
I like gi better, but I actually do like no gi. It's not as much, but the reason why I don't like no gi is actually because of the rash guards. Because my sexy body does not come out in a rash guard. You put me in a nice gi, like a showy roll or something, and I tell you, I go from like a high 4 to at least a high 9.5.
Yo, do you guys? I don't know what.
You're always a 9.5 in my eyes.
Oh, thank you.
Did you guys ever see me with my leggings on, my like jujitsu leggings?
Where you weren't wearing shorts?
Yeah.
I think I may have like once or twice.
Yo, why did I do that? My butt looked like whack. Everybody was like, good God, look at that. I was like, yeah, I know.
Well, that's why I don't like wearing no gi shorts, because I got a double bubble back there apparently, and like we train with some.
But
I got a dump truck, boy. I make Jayla look bad.
I honestly want to start like a gi company, a company that makes gis, for guys who are size, just like maybe custom gis so it just fits perfectly.
Yeah. Because like my two favorite gis are War Tribe brand, and the pants they're too thin. They're like skinny jeans. And since I'm mostly black, it just doesn't work. Like
Yeah. I got a War Tribe A3H because I was like, I need something a bit bigger. But the pads fit fine. The top was just huge.
yeah.
It's
I got
always
I got a new
mismatched.
gear. I just don't know the brand. It
Yeah.
was that grayish blue one I had on Saturday.
Was it? Oh yeah, I don't remember what it was. It looked like a
Yeah,
nice ski though.
it was really nice gear. It was actually a gift. So
Oh
Yeah.
good.
So, do you like gi or no gi, Frankie?
see, my thing is, I like gi for me because I feel it's harder. I don't know
Hmm.
if y'all
Hmm.
feel the same way. Like to me, pulling off a submission with a gi is a lot harder than than pulling a submission with no gi. No gi, I could just grab someone's arm and you're there, or I'll grab you and boom, you ain't going nowhere. But with a gi, I gotta actually use the gi and actually get some technique down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, there are no gi techniques that are you can use in gi. It's just you don't need the grips
Right.
necessarily.
Yeah.
So
But
some
Yeah,
do you guys find gi harder or no gi harder?
I find no gi harder just because it's um, the whole having to do the whole monkey port thing, and it's like I like the confidence of a grip in a gi.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a pretty strong grip.
Mhm.
Yeah.
for me, no gi is a little bit harder, but not by much. Because if I want to do some lapel work, I don't have that in no gi. So
Yeah.
that's really it. No.
All right,
But
let's get to this
also,
video.
All right, let's do the video.
I go
also with
sorry, go ahead, go ahead,
Oh,
Wale. My bad, my bad.
I was gonna say also with gi, you could do a lot of the judo stuff, but it's just harder to do with
Yeah.
no gi. Yeah.
well, you can adjust classic
Yeah.
judo with no gi
You can
grips.
modify.
You can
Yeah.
modify it.
But
Yeah.
It's not as effective, in
yeah.
my
Yeah.
opinion.
True.
Let's do the video. Stand
Yeah.
by. Share, share. Where's share? Chat. Oh, there it is. All right. So can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I put the volume up. And here we go. I'm gonna pause it here and there to comment.
Well, let's play it
Mhm.
throughout. Let's play it throughout the whole thing first.
Oh, okay. And then we can go
Yeah,
back. Yeah. All right. Here we go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wale, can you hear it? Can you guys hear it?
I can hear it a bit. So who's the
Yeah,
white belt?
it's very faint. So the white belt
Mm.
is the guy with the white rash guard.
Okay.
Let's
All right.
rewind it. All right. Here we go.
Dude. Yeah, that's BS. I'm just like number one, that's lack of fundamentals right there. Not being able to get out of that, in my opinion.
Well,
And
not just go ahead, Wally.
also, it's just like, all right, what have you proved? What's the point you proved here? Great, you went, you beat up a white belt. Yeah.
Okay, so when I saw this, the guy, like, clearly it says the guy has had only 8 months of training. Okay, and the guy has 2 years of being a blue belt, right? For one, where's the guy that's watching all the sparring going down? Why isn't he not telling the blue belt, like, hey, yo, take it easy, but like,
Yeah.
it's okay. And he goes, there's a calmness to my madness. I never heard that. If you're mad, you're mad. And clearly he was mad. So he was not being calm. And he's basically just throwing this guy. And this is why I think white belts shy away from jiu-jitsu after this, because you just got beat up. Like, yeah, you just got humiliated, but for what reason? Like, what was the whole point of that? None. There was nothing.
Yeah.
It's one, it's disrespectful. Two, I think the guy should get his blue belt taken away or kicked out of that gym. But I mean, that's
There's
that.
also,
You know, there's no respect.
I mean,
there needs to be a
yeah.
line of respect when it comes to from white belt to black belt. There's always should be a line of respect towards a human being like that. You put me in an armbar, I'm not gonna go kill you.
So like, the white belt's not being malicious at all. I mean, he's doing something that he learned. Maybe he's been training that for a while, and he's just trying it out, and he just happened to best the blue belt. And it's just like, at the end of the day, as a blue belt, a big part of being a blue belt or being a higher belt is teaching the lower belts things, like rolling with them to give them the opportunity to learn, to put into practice all the stuff that they've learned, and he didn't give him the chance to do that.
So my thing is, at the beginning of the video, he said he gave the guy that position. If that's true, all of this is his fault.
Yeah.
If you give somebody a position that you cannot get out of, it's your fault.
Or if you give someone a position that you think you can get out of because you think, oh, they're just a white belt, then that's also your fault.
And also, he's a freaking white belt. Like, he's probably thinking it's funny that he's got this guy in a reverse triangle. Ha ha. Oh, I'm gonna sit on your face. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. And I'm just like, doing all this shit so that blood comes out his nose. I'm like, dude, come on.
No.
Yeah.
First of all, this white belt, given a little bit more time, could probably be a really good training partner.
Yeah.
And this guy did multiple actions that probably could have deterred him. And you see how he was holding his arm after that Kimura?
Yeah. If I were the white belt, I would report to the instructor what happened, and two, I'm just like, I'm never rolling with that person again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Wale, I have a do not roll list.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of the people on there don't train anymore, but there's actually only like one or two people on it now. And
and I mean, and if as a white belt, if the blue belt came up to me like later on and was like, hey, now you want to roll, I would straight up tell him no. Like,
yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I've always held a tenet that anybody can tell somebody no when it comes to rolling. Doesn't even matter what the reasoning is. Hey, you want to roll? Nah. I've said that multiple times. Maybe I'm a little bit too injured to roll with the guy who's like a little bit rough around the edges and is just a little bit dangerous. No, fine. Everybody can say no, except for if a black belt wants to roll with you.
Yeah,
that's a different story, man.
That's a different story.
I was just about to ask, does that apply to black belts?
Because at black belt level, they should be able to realize, oh, they're moving this way, that way. They must be injured, even if they didn't say so. All right, fine.
And I mean, I think, if a black belt asks you to roll, you're almost obligated to do it, but you're not obligated to put in your whole 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's watch that again. I'm gonna pause at different points, and then we'll tear it apart. But yeah, just off rip. I think I use that term correctly. It's the new young people's term.
So that's what the kids are saying.
That's what the young kids are saying. This guy,
young rip,
off rip.
Oh, off rip.
Yeah, this guy's is under my skin because this is not right in any combat sport context. But let's start from the beginning.
Let me share a screen.
I just realized something. He said he should show you guys how he got there, but he doesn't feel like it, or whatever he said. In hindsight, I don't think that he let this guy have this position like he said. I think he just got caught, basically. I think that's why he was pissed off.
Thomas, share that screen, bud.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
FYI, if this was me and him, we'd be going striking.
Right. Now, I'll replay this part.
Yeah.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think he got caught. Just based on what he said in hindsight. Let's continue.
I think what happened is, like you're saying, they're rolling. He got caught, and then he's like, "I gave him the position."
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean,
because he doesn't know how to get out of it.
Right. And getting out of a top reverse triangle like that is not easy. All he had to do was tap and just restart. There's no shame in it.
Yeah. But he's too proud, and he wants to be Mr. Macho. Okay, I'm a blue belt. I need to show this guy. I need to whoop his butt to prove a point. What are you proving?
Yeah.
What are you freaking proving?
He keeps saying that throughout this video. I have a point to prove, or something along those lines.
I'm just like you're not. It's a white belt. You're not proving anything.
Right.
Now, if you're doing this to a black belt, okay, and sure, have at it. You're gonna get your ass whooped anyway. But yeah.
Yeah. Feel free to tell me to pause the video while we're watching it. He should have tapped right there.
Yeah.
He should just tap, restart. Simple as that.
Yeah, the guy's laughing because he's probably having a good time, and hey, I'm having a good time. Like, oh man, I got one on a blue belt. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then
so what?
He wants to take off his headgear and come in all macho like that. Like, yo, like that. Right there in that moment, he should have stopped. Took 5 minutes to say, all right, let me not be pissed off. Let me go talk to this kid real quick, or this guy, and say, hey, listen, man, that was okay, but let's not try to do that. Let's try to practice more. Like maybe, keep it moving. Be more smart about it.
So that's the piece of this puzzle that's missing from this video. Nowhere.
This moment right here was the moment where he could have changed the whole outcome. The whole
exactly.
Thing.
Yeah. Not just that, but from this point on, he did not tell this guy what he did wrong. He simply just jumped in and went bonkers.
Well, I mean, did he do anything wrong though?
No, that's the thing. Like the guy's a white belt.
Mistakes happen.
They don't know. Just tap. Tell him what he did wrong. Continue.
Just like tap. Like, hey, you got me. That's pretty good. And then just roll like normal.
Right. All right. Here we go. Look how that guy's holding his arm.
Yeah,
he's hurt.
Also, the fact that he's saying, "Yeah, I'm pissed off." The minute that you get pissed off, get off the mat.
Walk off the mat.
No, nobody needs that. Somebody's gonna get seriously injured.
Yeah.
And especially like he's holding those submissions like a little bit longer because he's trying to prove a point, and that's how you get people hurt.
Right. And actually, in the solo video I did reviewing this video, I was wrong. I haven't lost my temper once on the mat. I've lost it 3 times, but each single time I walked off to cool down.
Did you
Well,
say you said you replied to him?
Huh?
Did you say you replied to this guy?
No.
Oh.
No,
I,
I did a
Sorry,
solo review video
Oh, okay.
because this video got under my skin so bad.
Yeah.
But Frankie, what were you gonna say?
I've gotten to the point where I'm hurting somebody, but then at the end of that session or the end of that training, I get pulled to the side by the higher belts or the higher, if I was Muay Thai, like, hey, you need to know. Like I got punished for those moments.
Yeah.
And I have. Like when Matsugi's like, stop talking shit. Okay. I'm sorry. But he pulled me to a side and be like, look, but that's what makes a good gym and a good martial artist is when the instructor saying like, hey, cut this out. Like, no, don't do that. Like, where's the instructor here? Where's the owner?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, not even the owner. Where's a higher belt to tell this guy to calm down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, where's anyone really?
Anybody. Yeah.
So it's just anybody. Yeah.
All right, continuing. That irritated me.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. The method to the madness thing. Oh boy.
What are you doing? Anyways. What point? All right, I'm sorry.
Why?
There's absolutely no reason to crank with a Darce choke. It's a blood choke. You don't need to crank.
No.
Just sink that shit in and just let it happen. There's no need to crank and like pop someone's neck.
You shouldn't crank submissions at all.
Yeah.
He could have hurt this guy's neck.
Yeah.
And I have had my neck hurt from a Darce before.
Pause it. I think at some point also the white belt should have been like, this guy's going way too hard. Let me just stop this.
But he doesn't know because he's probably like, oh, I need to macho it out.
Well,
I need to macho it out.
That's the dangerous thing. This guy's a white belt. He doesn't know what's going on. He's not. If at minimum he doesn't. At best, he doesn't know what's. At best, he's not sure what's going on. At worst, he doesn't know what's going on. All he knows is this guy is going hard on him for some reason.
Yeah.
But this dude has not told this guy from watching this video what the issue is. So this is no longer this was a teachable moment, but at this point it's not.
Yeah.
So not allowed.
Yeah.
That is a straight up dick move.
I mean, also it's just like, okay, even if it's nogi, I know there's certain things in nogi that are allowed that are not allowed in gi. You don't toe hold a white belt
at all
because they don't know what a toe hold is, and you can really fuck them up.
Exactly. Continuing. BS. Like total BS. That's a contradiction. How are you angry but calm?
You can't. There's no such thing.
And at this point, he's potentially injured both these guys' arms and his neck.
Yeah. And possibly his ankle too.
Yep. And I would have kicked his ass out.
Yeah, I honestly think that this white belt has every right to like just start beating the shit out of this guy.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah,
No, I still don't think this guy understood what was going on.
no, I don't think he did.
No.
And the thing is, like, a lot of what's happening to him, the white belt, he's not gonna feel it until the next day.
Right.
You know.
Right. But the blood shooting out of the nose thing, like, I hope this guy's okay.
Yeah.
You know, that could be any sort of really nasty injury.
Yeah.
Let's finish this off.
And you know, the thing is, like, there are some people who are going to see this and they're gonna think, well, yeah, that's you're supposed to put white belts in their place like that. But
There's a time
it's
and
like,
place for that, and there's a way to do it.
yeah, there's a way to do it in a respectful way, and there's a way to you should never be out to injure somebody.
So it seems to me that he knew that it sounded like from his what he said at the end, it sounded like he knew that he did wrong and that he was just trying to justify it.
He knew that, you know, people are gonna look at him like an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and I guess that's what he wants, but that's dumb, man. It's just stupid.
It's amazing to me that somebody would post something like this.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna go out and say it. That's abuse.
Yeah.
You know.
What are his?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was saying, I'm wondering what his other posts are like.
Hey, Frankie, is this the guy that from the other TikTok video that we reviewed?
I don't know. I'll go look, and I'll send you guys the links. But I'm pretty sure if you guys want to see his videos, I think you go freely and see them. But if you're a TikToker, then yeah,
because I just thought about this because we reviewed another TikTok video where somebody was rolling with a brown belt and he like hurt the brown belt's arm. I'm wondering if this is the same guy.
No,
it's not.
No.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, no. I don't know, but I'll send you if you guys don't. If you guys see, I got TikTok because I was trying to prove I was messing with my kid, and then I hope that's how these freaking kids get you with this TikTok shit, but whatever.
I got TikTok a couple of months ago. It just I can't remember. I was just tired of looking at it TikTok videos on my computer. So yeah, it's got some interesting content.
I uninstalled it. Like I found it annoying.
Yeah, you know what I only watch certain videos because 99% of it is like, you know, kids and like all that shit.
Go ahead, Wale. Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, it's not for me.
Yeah, I got you.
It changes once you start liking like this whole jiu-jitsu stuff and like boxing and all martial arts. I get all that kind of stuff like through my feeds and whatnot. But
yeah,
it's all based off your algorithm.
But yeah, so going back to this video, what he just showed the world was intentional abuse. You know, first of all, he didn't talk to the guy about what happened. You know, it would have been a different thing if he would have went over and been like, dude, don't do that. And left it at that, or rolled with him and got him into a specific armbar to prove a point. And left it at that. You know, that's a different story.
Catch and release.
Yeah. But like I don't know. Maybe this gym is teaching these guys how to be macho and whatnot. But to me, when if you're trying to be a martial artist, a true martial artist, you got to go to the line of respect and you know, that's how I try to view things. Because I know a couple like what do I know? Muay Thai, Taekwondo, now Jiu-Jitsu and Judo. I mean, you know, but there's if you're trying to be a martial artist, man, and you got to learn these lines of respect, man.
Yeah. Well,
It
not
looks
just
like it was. I think that was the 10th planet. It looks
yes.
like it.
That was a 10th planet, and I don't know how they
Mm,
train. I don't know how their organization is, but
mm,
you know,
Well, I mean, jujitsu, any kind of grappling art, you have to cultivate relationships with people because you need a
yeah,
partner. You need somebody
yeah,
to actually partner with to do these techniques. So if he's going to be like that, he's going to have a problem eventually.
yeah,
Because if he gets a reputation for doing this type of crap,
yeah. Because I
that
mean, if I were at that gym and I saw this video, I'll pull him aside like, yo, that's not cool, and I was just like, I'm never gonna roll with you if that's how you treat people.
yeah,
Because I think another thing on a larger scale of things, it's a misrepresentation of true jujitsu of the martial art.
yeah.
When you, I feel when you step into any martial art, you become an ambassador of that martial art.
Mhm.
So if you're
mhm,
gonna show your ass on the internet and behave that way, then people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is what jujitsu is about."
right.
Mhm.
Jujitsu is just a bunch of meatheads and who are out to prove a point.
And the thing is, even this dude's a blue belt, the guy's a white belt. If he taps him, who cares?
Yeah,
Slap hands, you start again. There's some white belts who are more athletic than me. They're black belts in some other martial art, grappling art, and they catch me. I don't
yeah.
care. I slap hands and start over. Congratulate.
Mm. And
And
I mean, like at the end of the day, if there are days when you just have off days, you
right,
know, and that's you just take it and keep going. You go home, be salty that you got tapped out, and come back the next day and try harder.
right. Then you learn from the experience. How did this guy
Yeah,
catch me? Oh, okay,
yeah,
he caught me that way. How can I keep from that? How can I keep that from happening? You
yeah.
figure it out. It's
I mean, like
pro. Go ahead.
the blue belt could have simply have been like, that was slick or whatever. How did you do it? And
Right.
then as a blue belt, he should be able to learn, okay, this is how I defend from it, and be like, this is never going to happen to me again.
Right.
So you don't have to get so pissed off that people are getting you, catching you in these moves.
And the old cliche, you don't lose, you learn. You win
Mhm.
or you win or you learn. It's actually true because when you get caught in a submission or position you don't know how to get out of or you don't know how to mitigate, you go and ask somebody or you go look it up.
Yep.
The answer is out there. You just have to you have to go find it. Even this blue belt, what did he learn from this encounter?
Mhm.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Did he learn
Nothing.
how to get out of that position? I don't
Nope.
know.
Because 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to happen to him again.
Right.
If not by a white belt, by a higher belt.
Exactly. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm good. You good, Frankie?
I'm good with it. I'm kind of over that guy and whatever. I mean, I still see his videos on TikTok, but
You want to dojo storm him?
huh?
You
Huh?
want to dojo storm him?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that. I think I'm a little bit too old and broken to do that.
Yeah. Well, let me take another few years of no gi before I step into 10th planet.
Speaking of which, speaking of dojo storming, hey,
Mm.
Wale, you want to go visit Chewy in the next sometime this year? Get a little group go down on a Saturday.
That would be awesome. Well, I don't know. It'll have to be like a few months from now, you know.
I was thinking about
But
doing that for my birthday in May.
hmm.
It's like 4 months away.
Have you ever been?
No, that's why I want to go.
I've been twice. He's cool. He's a cool dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to fanboy and be like, take a picture. Of like,
I try and avoid a little bit,
yeah, Frankie, do
Like,
you know
hey,
who we're talking?
can you sign my T-shirt?
You don't know Chujitsu from YouTube? I'll show you some of his videos. He's a really good source of information. He seems like he's a really nice guy too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, what I like about him is like he's really chill, and he speaks his mind basically,
Mhm.
and he's a black belt. Obviously, he's been doing this for a while. He started out I think he started out wrestling,
as a wrestler.
and he even talks about stuff like when he started out, how he used to have an ego and people used to check him, and he talks a lot about not just jujitsu, but just kind of like life in jujitsu.
Mhm.
What kind of is he like Big Brothers or
No, he's
No,
based in
what
Kentucky. Is it Kentucky or
yeah,
Tennessee?
Kentucky.
In Kentucky.
is it Gracie Jiu-Jitsu or
I don't
I
know
could
if he has
check.
an affiliation.
I think he may.
he has to? I mean, who do you learn it from? Like
No.
you can't
He-
just learn
It
True.
just it,
Jiu-Jitsu.
it just
You gotta be under somebody.
I mean, he could
it
have learned from
just
YouTube.
it just seeped into his brain.
No,
Nick
no way.
Alden.
Are you looking him up?
He's looking
Yeah.
him up.
Let
Yeah,
me know let me know who he's under.
Cool.
So after this, we'll start
So
with the.
obviously Carlos Gracie, Carlson Gracie,
So it's Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Renato. Yeah, well, Renato Alvarez. Well, he's under Colin/Kyle Cannon.
Which is
I mean, eventually
probably-
everything's Gracie. you go far back enough.
Yeah, everybody's lineage hits one of them Gracies here or there.
Yeah.
So all right, so shall we look at some dust videos? I figure we could look at like 2 or 3.
Man, I don't know, man. This guy's a joke.
Frank is already
Wale,
pissed off.
Wale, do you know who we're talking about?
Yeah, I do.
All right, so I got one, and it's a how to escape a guillotine.
Oh, this should be interesting. This should be interesting.
It should be fun.
Do you pull a gun out to escape a guillotine?
I mean, all right, so he's teaching techniques to teach his security personnel when they're on duty in Detroit, right? That's something that I don't think he considers. Like the people that, the unarmed people that they could encounter when they're doing these techniques could pull out a knife, gun, or whatever and just shoot them. Where'd you guys go? I'm all by myself. All right. Well, I'm going to queue up the video. When you guys are back, we can watch it. All alone. I'm all alone.
All right, no, you're not alone. Sorry. I had to do something.
That's okay. When Wale's back, we can start. But yeah, dude, I watched some more of his videos on YouTube.
Dude, they're so cringy, man. I kind of, it was so funny at first, and I was like, okay, cool, but then I was like, I am not trying to watch all this dude's failures this bad.
I'm not even sure if he's a troll, because at one point I thought he was a troll.
Dude, does he even have a martial arts background at all, or any sort of?
He says, I think he says he's trained by the CIA and FBI and blah blah blah.
Oh, sorry.
Which they say, government training is not even all that, or the back.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
That's what I hear. So for the guys that are in the military or blah blah blah, no, don't take that to offense. That's what I just heard.
Yeah,
I've sparred with a couple of Marines and Navy SEALs and all these other guys that
you're like, please don't snipe me in the streets.
When we were
maybe with a gun you're great, but hand-to-hand combat, man, that's a whole different story.
When we were originally going to do these reviews, Kelsey New was supposed to be with us, and she's a Army Combatives instructor.
Yeah,
she's an Army Combatives instructor, so it would have been a very good evaluation just all around. We all know some sort of martial art. I'm very well versed in firearms and how to handle them and use them. So just all around, combined with that, with Kelsey's skill set, we could have a field day with these videos.
Yeah.
But even without her, I think we'll have a very good
Yeah.
analogy. So
Kelsey, if you're watching,
I mean,
Kelsey, sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, no, go ahead.
yeah, we're
I
gonna
was like,
watch. This is
Kelsey,
a
if you're watching this, me and you need to talk about gangster mode. We'll get there.
I was just like saying, even common sense would tell you that some of this stuff is not going to work.
so let's go ahead and watch this guillotine defense. I haven't watched this one yet, so
Okay.
let's see how this goes.
Hmm. Yeah. Hey, I see the problem here. This is a video for training people how to get out of guillotine when somebody who's doing a guillotine on you does not know how to do a proper guillotine, because that was not sunk in. And also, in real life, someone's going to be yanking your neck. You're not going to have time. You're not going to have time or even the wherewithal to grab their fingers and pull and do all this other shit.
So
Yeah.
that's my problem with this video after we just watched it. Because first of all, I can't see the guy who's applying the guillotine. I can't see his
Yep.
hands. Like, are they clasped? Like, are they
Yeah,
loose?
it didn't look like it.
And even if they're not clasped, he's not like actually
Yeah.
applying the choke.
No, yeah, because with the guillotine, you the dude shouldn't even be able to grab your fingers, because like you're saying, you're either have your fingers clasped or you have your fingers so far up closer to your chest to really sink that guillotine in. And there's no way someone's going to grab your fingers and try and get out of it that way.
Right. And if this guy's some street hoodlum, he's gonna be trying to choke you or
Yeah.
break your neck or something.
Or also trying to slam their elbow down on the back of your head,
Right.
or on your back.
Yeah, I think that's my number one issue with this. Like, the guy who's the uke is not even actually applying the guillotine. He's just kind of lightly holding it.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, in real life, someone's not just only going to apply a guillotine on you. They're going to do other stuff like punch you in the face, like
Right.
slam their elbow into your back, punch you in the gut, punch you in the side, all this other stuff, pull a knife on you and start shanking
Like,
you. You know,
have you guys ever been in a like street fight?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean things things are not what they seem. Like
Things
they're
go
a street fight.
things go
'Cause, yeah.
sideways quick.
Sideways.
I mean, like,
even you like. I'm not gonna use Muay Thai the whole time. Maybe on a
Yeah.
clinch or jujitsu. Like jujitsu, okay, maybe, but if the place goes down to the ground, but the many street fights that I've been in, it's just been, and I've
And I mean,
lost
like,
and won a couple.
Yeah, I
coming
would.
from someone who's never been in a street fight, I know that shit can go sideways. And it's like, people always think, okay, if I get into a fight, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna back up, but if you get into a real fight, you're not even gonna have time to think about all of that.
And not just that, the fights. I mean, granted, I was a teenager, but the fights that I've been in and the fights that I've seen in PG County and in DC, people don't stand still. Like, if somebody's got your head, they're gonna try to rip your damn head off.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be bouncing around, jumping around, and that's not including the fact that if they have one of their friends with them, their friends are gonna jump in.
That's what I'm saying. It's never one-on-one.
It's never
Ever.
one-on-one. Ever.
You might get a rare moment like that where it's one-on-one, but nah, that's
And also, how did he get into that guillotine?
Right.
Like Kurt Osiander says, you fucked up. It's like, you did something.
To his credit, he's just showing you how to get out of a guillotine if you get in one.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
true.
Granted, if we go with the practical school of thought, then yes, uh, Minister Osiander does have a distinct point. All right.
I do want to see him, go up against, like, in a real fight, get someone else to sink a guillotine in and see if your technique works. That would be that would really tell you truly if whatever he's teaching actually does work. Get somebody who's not affiliated with us, who's maybe wrestled for a few years, let them do it.
So I have an idea, and this is just a thought. We should probably like try his techniques out, like on each other, but we're resisting to see if they actually work.
I like that.
I mean, we already know the answer.
Y'all two can do it. I ain't do it. I'm like, yo, I know.
All right, you guys ready for the second one?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Share screen.
I just cringe when I see this guy, man. And he always adjusts his Bluetooth, whatever he has on his phone.
It's not Bluetooth, it's bone conduction.
Bone
technology.
conduction.
Sorry, guys, Jesus Christ.
All right. So this one is a palm press with UFC fighter Joaquin Buckley. Do you guys know who that is? Does that name ring a bell?
He's probably low. He's probably a low-ranked UFC fighter, honestly.
All right. Well, anyways,
but go ahead.
This
I
one's
also love his wall of weapons.
No offense to the UFC fighter.
Dude, his wall of weapons are all airsoft. There's not a single real one on there. He has some firearms on there that don't actually exist in real life. They only exist in airsoft form. I'm sorry. All right. Anyways, video.
Yeah.
Stop for a second. Stop. Oh, God.
To his credit, though, this is a better technique than the guillotine, escaping the guillotine. I'm not saying it's the best, but it is better than what he showed previously.
So
rewind this a little bit, Thomas. Sorry, man.
The problem too is we don't have a good angle on what he does with his hand.
We'll go back more. But almost towards the beginning. Right there. All right, stop right there. Go back a little bit. You see that other arm that's hanging there? That's going right across his face as with a wide open slap.
Yeah. True.
Here's a Nick or a Nate Diaz Stockton slap. Here you go. Bow.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but I've actually been taught this technique as a standard self-defense technique. The core thing about this technique is that your opponent has to allow you to turn his arm. If somebody's actually grabbing you and doesn't turn their arm, it is super difficult to pull off. Think about a lapel grip. If somebody grabs your lapel, you can't break it. I mean, well, you can, but it's super hard. Turning their arm so that you could get a wrist lock, if they don't want you to do it, it's very difficult.
I think this UFC fighter got paid to do this shit, man.
And the thing too is, like,
do we even know if he's... Go ahead, Wally.
I think the thing too is, like, okay, this kind of looks like it kind of looks like he could just turn his hand the opposite way to pop his hand out of whatever this is, because in reality, the dust dude, his hands are on top. So if you just yank your hand down, you can probably get out of that.
Yeah.
And the guy is stiff arming him, man. Like, yo, just that's it right there.
But,
you just eliminated that whole.
But I think the core problem with all these techniques is everything is isolated. It's just like one thing. Like Frankie was saying, if I'm going to push someone and I see that they starting to try and wrist lock me, the first thing I'm going to do is close the distance and like start, pounding them with my fists. I'm not just going to sit there and let them wrist lock me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's my thing, because so far we've watched two techniques, and the person that he's applying them to doesn't, or rather, the first guy who was applying the guillotine didn't look like he was actually applying it, and he wasn't
Nope.
resisting. This guy, this UFC fighter, and I don't know if he is or not. If he is, whatever. He didn't look like he was resisting at all either.
No.
Which,
I think he just brought him on for the clout.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, but this UFC fighter can't get out of this.
Pull that, do that whole technique like live. Let's make it live.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
And it doesn't seem like I don't even know, it feels like they don't do any live sparring, like, whoever he's teaching these things to, because, it just looks like everything is so isolated. You just do this one technique and it's going to work,
Well, that's the thing. I think there's somebody out there who has a 50 grand reward or whatever you call it if this guy actually spars with him live, and he won't do it. And to me, that's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, like if you think about stuff like, with jiu-jitsu, the old days, how anyone can walk into your dojo and challenge you, and you have to take the challenge.
Yeah.
That shows you that the technique works.
Yeah. Gym style. Some gyms they stop doing that, man, because people get hurt coming off the street. Like I've seen people just come out of the street like, yo, who's in charge here? I'm ready to fight. Like, no.
Well, there was that Aikido guy that walked into a MMA gym, and he was, so convinced and so like, what do you call it? Secure in his Aikido that he thought that he'd be able to walk into an MMA gym or BJJ gym. I can't remember if it was which or which, and he'd be able to take on a BJJ guy and like with ease, and he got rocked. Like
was that like the old guy?
He had long hair.
Guy?
Yeah, he was like
I
40.
think I've seen that video. Yeah.
40s. Yeah, the BJJ guy just like looked like he just slapped him, if I'm remembering correctly, and he kind of like lost his will to fight.
He's like, "What do I do?
What do I do?" So
I have no wrists.
So real quick, we're gonna watch a pistol disarm, and just out of my curiosity, I haven't watched this yet. So
this is your department.
Yeah. Let's see how this goes.
Right back.
Okay. Let's see what happens here. Ready?
I think I've seen this one.
Oh, you have?
Hey, I may have. Are we waiting for Frankie?
No.
Yeah.
I'm starving, guys. I just got done training. I didn't eat.
All right, we're gonna rewind this a little bit so you can see this, and then I'm gonna tear it apart.
So,
all right, go ahead.
Is he catching the slide?
All right.
Oh.
Two things. All right. One, that is not a pistol. That's an airsoft gun. The spring on the slide is a lot weaker than an actual firearm. All right. So when he catches it and pushes the slide back to take it out of battery, it's going to be a lot easier to do with an airsoft gun than it is an actual firearm.
Mm.
Second of all, it is extremely difficult to catch a firearm, especially a striker fired one, and pull the slide back like that. You know, with an airsoft, and this is the deception. With an airsoft gun, you can do that because the slide is the spring on the slide is not very strong. With an actual firearm, the margin of error is so high. If you tried that, the firearm can still go off.
Mm.
That's my problem. Second of all, like, no, if somebody has a gun to your chest like that, even if you catch the slide, if your margin of error is so small, you're going to take a bullet straight to the sternum. Or
Well,
go ahead.
What happens if you catch the slide and if it slips out of your hand, the gun is still firing, correct?
I'll show you. So this is a
Mhm.
standard Glock 17.
Hold on. Boys and girls, kids that are watching this, do not try this at home, please.
Do not try this at home.
Thomas is a Thomas is a trained professional. He's done this shit for a long time.
I was a federally licensed firearms dealer for 6 years, and I was also a licensed gunsmith for 6, and I'm licensed to carry in 30 states. I'm a professional. But anyways, this is a standard Glock 17 with little modification. All the modifications on here are actually just cosmetic. It is now, if you pull the trigger, if this was loaded, the firearm would go off. If you catch the slide and they pull it back, all I have to do to put it back in battery is to pull it back and then bang.
Mm.
So if I have this
So
go ahead.
Mm. Sorry, so you basically just have to pull back your hand and it goes off.
Right.
If someone catches the slide, yeah.
Right. If he catches a slide like this or whatever, if he catches it like this, there's no way he's pulling the slide back. He specifically has to catch it with a grip like this. If he pulls it back even slightly, all I have to do is just pull it backwards and pull the trigger.
Hmm.
And he takes one to the chest. On top of that, what he's not factoring in is muzzle blast. Let's say that, this was aimed at his head and he moved to the side. So the gun goes off next to his ear. He's from the muzzle blast, he's deaf and potentially blind in that side's eye because of all the dust and heated gases that are going to be expelled from it. That's the deception that he's putting forth.
Yeah.
With
I don't.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
Go for it.
And I was saying, like, at the end of the day, a gun is a ranged weapon. You're not going to come up with somebody like right on their chest and put a gun right to their chest. I am shooting you from a distance.
Exactly.
The only reason I'll have to close the range between me and someone that I'm trying to harm is if I had like a knife, and
Right.
even knives you can throw knives.
Well,
So it's just
with knives, it's been proven that if you're within 20 feet, somebody with a knife can close a distance on somebody who has a holstered firearm or a firearm at the low ready, and they could stab you at least once or twice before you can draw your weapon and pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what he just showed will get somebody shot.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
It's like some Hollywood bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Boys and
Frankie.
girls, if you see a guy with a gun, just don't approach them.
Yeah.
Don't try to fight them. Just hand up your
Yes.
wallet.
Hand over your
I could-
stuff.
It's not
I
worth
could
it.
probably beat the shit out of them 20 times. But when you have a gun, you ain't gonna beat no bullet, man. Just get out of the way. Just give them. It's safer. Go home safe after, and then whatever. Go call the cops or whatever. But don't try to be a hero. We ain't no heroes out here.
Yeah.
Unless I Hulk out, and then that's a whole different story. That's a whole different story.
Let's watch one more, and this one caught my eye because the caption is clearing deception in video edits. That sounds like he's trying to justify something.
I think some personal against this guy here, but
My
Yes.
issue is twofold. One, the stuff he's teaching is bullshito, and two, what he's telling people about how the firearms function in terms of what he's doing can get somebody killed.
And 3, he's teaching this to people who don't have experience with firearms, who don't have any sort of martial arts background, who don't
Exactly.
have, yeah.
I mean, that's my whole thing. Like, if you're gonna BS somebody, put a disclaimer on there. This may not work in every scenario.
Yep.
Perfectly fine, but going around and
Mm.
with confidence like he is, like somebody's
Mhm.
gonna actually try one of these techniques and then get hurt.
The
And then
economy's
sue him.
the economy's tough right now, man. You gotta do whatever you gotta do.
Right. Anyways, last one. Let me pull it up real quick. All right. I'm curious about this one.
His face just makes me cringe, man. I'm just sorry. Look at that. Oh God, I just want to.
I can't say anything because he looks like people I'm related to. So
No.
He's
Oh my
family.
God. Oh, this guy. I've seen this guy. Pause it real quick. Sorry. So apparently the guy he's saying that, oh, this guy's jujitsu trained and judo trained and blah 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 blah. But this is what happens in real life. But go ahead. Sorry. The comments to my madness.
all right, I'm sorry. I had to stop this.
So,
Watch what this guy.
what is he saying? Actually, I can't really hear.
So from what I gather, the guy in the green shirt was the uke in a gun disarm demonstration, and instead of just standing there, it looks like he backed up.
Yeah.
And pulled the firearm away from him, which is what people would do. Even the stupidest street thug is going to know to do that. You know, and this is actually what they teach in concealed carry courses. Like if you have drawn your pistol and somebody comes at you, to pull it back, because you can still fire from here. If you pull your firearm back to your chest, you can still fire at somebody who's closing in on you and still shoot them, you know, fatally. And it looks like that's what happened here. Like, if this were a live scenario, this dude just simply backed up, pulled his weapon in, and he could have shot him the entire time that he was trying to close the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like this video is just I don't remember what this guy's name is. Like, it just sounds like he's just trying to justify what happened.
Dust, dude. Fred Dust. So what's his justification? It looks like he's trying to tell him, okay, just play along.
Right. I think it sounds like to me he's saying that this guy has some jujitsu training and he lied about it. But
yeah,
being skilled in jujitsu doesn't
mean
teach
you're skilled in firearms.
Right.
Yeah.
This guy it seems like to me he had some sort of firearms training.
The guy, the Asian guy.
Yeah, the Asian guy.
Yeah, I believe so too. And good for him. Like he's like, yo, dude, your shit is a lie. And he's exposing him.
Or he's just like, you know, hey, what happens if I move? You know, because everybody else is not moving.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's finish this off.
I'm sorry, man. I cringe. I feel bad for him.
You know, another option here is he could get pistol whipped in the head too.
Yeah. Or let's say another thing that happened in DC, like there was a guy who pulled a gun on someone with the intent of robbing him a couple years ago. the guy grabbed his pistol, so he pulled out a knife and stabbed him to death.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
that there's all sorts of scenarios that could happen. All right, he's just making excuses at this point. I'm done with it.
I'm
Yeah.
done with him either, man. It's just that's a joke.
That's
Yeah.
just dumb.
It's like the first couple of videos are funny, but then it's just like this is
Yeah.
just stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
If you're gonna train firearms, go to the range, train like that. Go talk to Thomas to help you, like that kind of training. Okay, fine, but to disarm somebody like that, just avoid the situation, man.
it's a lot simpler than that. You know, sometimes no matter who you are as a martial artist, whether it be jiu-jitsu, judo, etc., 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 the technique that you're gonna try is sometimes, maybe depending on who it is, a lot of the time it's gonna fail. So you have to try it
Yeah.
either again or switch to something
Mhm.
else. Like
Yeah.
this guy knew that this dude was resisting, or at least not complying with the technique he was trying to show.
Mhm.
But it looks like he just kept trying the same technique.
Yeah.
You know, that's at minimum.
Because
Go ahead.
he doesn't have anything else. You know,
Right.
and he's trying to prove a point that like his technique works
Right.
when it clearly does not.
At minimum, it's poor tactics. But at maximum, I don't know. Like this again, this is another scenario where somebody would get hurt.
Yeah.
Like you don't grab for somebody's pistol if they have it pointed at you.
Nope.
I'm glad that's over.
Yeah, I can't do that again. This
episode of this podcast, man, I have so many emotions right now, man.
Yeah, you know,
I had to go spar or something, because God, I got a lot of anger built up in me right now.
I think we were gonna do it last time, you know, but because we were like, oh, haha, this is gonna be funny. It started off kind of funny, and now it's just like, oh God, you're killing me here, dude.
Isn't this like the second time we were reviewing something we thought was going to be funny and it ended up being just like annoying?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, next time we do something like this, let me go and get like fucked up so I can at least get some humor out of this. Because
yeah,
this I don't know. I'm on water right now, bud, and this is hurting me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's my thing, and this has always been a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. If you want to learn to be effective when it comes to hand anything, find something that is proven to work and learn that. Spend time to learn it. Get good at it.
Yeah.
That way, when a situation arises, your chances are increased in order to get out of it. You might get out of it hurt. You might get out of it with a scratch. You might get out of it with a cut. You might get out of it injured, but you'll get out of it.
Yeah,
I appreciate that you said that your chances are increased.
It's never going to be surefire because you don't know what's going to happen in the moment. But even with firearms, you know, one of my biggest pet peeves with a lot of when I was a licensed dealer, one of the biggest pet peeves I had was like people would buy a firearm and they would never train with it. They wouldn't take any classes, and they thought that they would be ready to defend themselves in the moment. It doesn't work that way. Firearms usage is exactly like any kind of martial art. You have to go and train and you have to practice.
Exactly. Yep.
You know, I go to the range once a week at most, if I can. 50 rounds each session. Trigger time, practice the fundamentals. Every couple of months I'll take a class. That's what I do at minimum. You know, and I'm comfortable with that. But there's a lot of people who do less. And at the same time, even with any kind of unarmed martial art, I can't tell you how many people I've had conversations with when they find out that I do BJJ. They're like, "Oh yeah, you know, I can defend myself too." "Oh, sweet. Where do you train?" "Oh, I train at this place that shut down about 15, 20 years ago, but I'm good. I still know all the techniques." And
I
it's
train
like,
on YouTube.
And you know, and you see like this whole pandemic thing. Remember when people were starting to buy a bunch of guns?
Yeah.
So I go into the armory, finding just to buy ammo, and I see these people. I'm like, and I'm looking while I'm waiting there. I'm like, yo, would you really pull a gun on me? Would you really like have the balls to actually like shoot me? Like, like I look at these people and I'm like, you don't look like the type.
Uh,
You don't look like the type that you can kill somebody and sleep well at night.
I can wind that back. I'll make it even simpler. Are those the type of people that would actually fight you if they had to?
Right,
You mean without a gun?
Without a gun,
right.
like hand to hand.
Mm.
Because I can't tell you how many people I know that I've encountered, especially living in DC and PG County, where they have bravado for days. If something happens, I'm gonna throw hands. I'm gonna take that person out. Blah 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 blah. But when something happened, you know what actually occurred? They ran behind me because I was usually the biggest guy around, and they
Mm.
were expecting me to handle whatever the situation was. And it's like,
See, and this is, and I had a situation at a club, man. This one guy, he got on my face. He threw like 4 elbows. I'm like, dude, you have no business doing. I mean, I sadly I broke his jaw that night, but I was like, you had no business to do that, man. Just walk away, man. But
You should have been like, hey, come to my school, get trained.
yeah, well, well, the thing was, I got invited to a club, and I don't like clubbing. Okay, and there was a situation where the guy, he was taking a person out of my group, and I don't know this guy. And
Mm.
I'm very protective when it comes to my friends and stuff like that. And like, I'm very protective. So I grabbed the person and I was like, hey, yo, stay over here, stay over here, stay over here. I don't know what this guy's capable of.
Mm.
So I got in between the guy, and the guys throw some 4 horrific elbows that doesn't even land on my face, lands on my chest. And without even thinking about it, I struck the guy.
hey guys,
And
I'll be right back. I have to go check
Yeah.
something.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like, look, man, hell out of here. I,
Yeah.
I'm done with for the night. I just broke someone's poor jaw, and I mean, I felt
Yeah.
like crap the next day. But I warned people like this. I was like, I don't do these things because past experience that I was getting fights and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't do that. And like what Tom was saying, it's like when it even comes to like gun training, I go to the range and still practice and shoot and whatnot, or but
Yeah.
yeah, no. Yeah, you shouldn't be. If you're in a gunfight, don't be a hero, man. Just
Yeah.
take cover and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
That's.
it's like the like even around here, people are like, oh, I train Krav Maga, Krav Maga, Krav Maga. Me, in my head, I'm like, Krav Maga is like the real deal, Israel stuff. Like, yo, like where are they teaching that down the street? Like you could sign a membership
Mm.
for that. Like how effective is that? Like how real
Are
is that?
you learning the Krav Maga that they teach, where it's basically to kill someone?
Exactly.
You're not doing
No,
that.
you're not. You're just doing these little kicks and punches, and you're calling it Krav Maga. Is it really real Krav Maga? Because if you're telling me that you know Krav Maga, you can literally kill me right now. But you know,
I have a Krav Maga story.
ooh.
Think about 3 years ago at Pentagon. It
Okay.
was a Saturday class and it was no gi.
Okay.
This guy walks in and I partnered with him, and he was like being a little like rough, and he kept doing stuff while we were in close guard where it looked like he was like stabbing me in the eyes,
Mm.
like he was like practicing it. Like he wouldn't actually stab me, but he would like chamber it, right?
Mm.
So I was like, dude, what are you doing? He goes, oh, well, I'm a Krav Maga instructor, and I'm just showing you that if I wanted to, I could kill you. And I'm like, that's a very odd thing to say.
Yo, you say that
Mm.
to me. You say that to me. Oh, that's a whole different story.
And
I'm just like, if you know Krav Maga, okay, this is jiu-jitsu, go down the street
Right.
to a Krav Maga place, you know.
So he told me he was trying out because he wanted to see how jiu-jitsu stacked up to Krav Maga. So I was like, all right, whatever. You know, this guy obviously was in a little bit better shape than I was. So when it came time to roll, he goes, so are we allowed to punch or anything? I was like, no, but I mean, I got gloves if you really want to. I was joking. I wasn't gonna do it. But, you know, he was just like such a prick with what the way that he was interacting with me. I decided, you know what? I'm gonna treat this guy like I would any other blue belt. So we start rolling. I just start submitting him, but politely. Like, and there were times where I would get him into a submission, and before he would tap, I would just release him. And he started getting angry. So he started like, you know, using more strength, tiring himself out. And then I swept him this one time, swept him. He hit the mat. He looked at me, got up, walked out.
Mm.
And I'm thinking, isn't that something? Because I wasn't angry. I was just like, why is this guy being a dick? You know, you're a
Yeah.
Krav Maga instructor. Cool. Like, that doesn't apply here.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't a no holds barred, you know, rule scenario.
Yeah.
You know, but whatever.
My thing is, if somebody's using the word kill, don't use that word around me, because I will turn it up. But if like,
Yeah.
when it comes
I
to
mean,
like weapons and stuff like that, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, and one of us is gonna die.
Yeah.
and I mean, also,
I,
it's like at the end of the day, it's like that's not the spirit of the sport. You know, even
no.
even the Krav Maga that they teach, that it's not to kill someone. So when you tell me like, oh, I'm just showing you how I can kill you, I was just like, you know what, dude? Cool. I'm done with rolling with you. I can't. You know, you take that
When
somewhere else.
when you're using the word kill or stuff like that, that doesn't sit well with me, and I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna
I mean,
hurt you.
it's a straight up threat to me.
Yeah,
Know?
exactly.
I mean, granted, I didn't feel threatened by this guy at all, but
yeah,
you know, it's just amazing to me that he thought that his skill at a different style would apply to a jiu-jitsu rule set, even though the rules are completely different. One is a strike, you know, I guess a no holds barred kind of striking. Like, I don't even know if they actually do like pressure testing in Krav Maga, but you can't take that skill set and take it to a grappling skill set and think that it's going to translate over.
It's like me going to a Taekwondo place and saying like, yeah, I'm just showing you how I can choke you out.
Yeah.
You know? It's like it doesn't translate.
It doesn't,
but yeah.
people, man.
Speaking of which, there's a Taekwondo place down the street. The guy who owns it goes to the Planet Fitness where I lived at, and he told me, "Oh, are you a martial artist?" Because he saw me with my Pentagon MMA hoodie on. And I was like, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "Oh, I own you know, this Taekwondo place over at Huntsman Square." And I was like, "Cool." He's like, "You should come and try out." I'm like, "Should I wear my gi?" I asked him. I was like, "Can I wear my gi?" He's like, is it a jujitsu gi? I was like, well, I also have a judo gi if you fancy that. And he just kind of looked at me kind of funny. He's like, yeah, I guess that's okay for your first class. And I thought about it, and I was like, what would I do in a Taekwondo class? Like, I just
a lot of kicks and a lot of flips.
Yeah.
And form. And there's, you know what? There's nothing again. I mean, okay, yeah, Taekwondo nowadays is not how it used to be, but there's always some kind of lesson. Like there's you know, it's good for kids, man, to learn how to build up and respect and blah blah blah. Because there's a coworker of mine, his kids do the Taekwondo, and they, you know, those instructors have taken belts away, and that, you know, nothing against Taekwondo like that, man. And I know one girl that used to spar with Megan. She's a black belt Taekwondo, and I've seen her do some pretty good kicks, man. And it's like, okay, cool, you know, but nothing against all that. Just saying.
Megan had some really like bendy, high flying kicks.
Yeah. I mean, I it's interesting to learn different martial arts. Like it's interesting. But
and don't get me
it's just like when somebody says like my martial art is, will I can use my martial art. My martial art is better than yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and me, I like when I'm sparring, I like sneaking in these little things. Like, okay, let me do an axe kick here, or let me do the whole Mayweather stance and whatnot, or let me do the Mike Tyson this or whatever. Like, add little things here and there to spicing up my techniques or my arsenal. So you guys say,
Yeah, everybody's all about the no rule sparring until I pull out that Pitbull no jutsu. It's like, Thomas, why are you throwing your dog at me? Because you said there were no rules. Tricks on you.
Yeah.
Anyways, gentlemen, I'm a little bit too tipsy for my own good, so we're gonna wrap it up right here. Final thoughts, Wole.
Is this the first one we've done this year?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy
Oh,
New
no,
Year.
wait. No. The one.
Oh no, we didn't.
Yeah,
Okay,
that one we're not counting because we couldn't
Okay.
finish it.
All right. So this is the
Yeah,
first one,
true.
y'all.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
happy New Year. I hope this New Year has a lot more, training and stuff. I'm hoping later on in the year to start competing again. So yeah. Keep training.
Mm-hmm. Frankie?
Yeah, like while I say, hopefully, keep training, keep getting better and stronger and learning. And, with the times that are going now, be a little bit patient and respectful to each other. I know we're going through a tough time nowadays with all what's going on and whatnot, but it's always good to show respect, even though you don't even know the person. Always use your yes sirs and yes ma'ams. So that's all I got for you guys.
Yeah, for me, just Happy New Year. I'm glad we finished this episode. We had a little technical difficulties last week. But just going over the videos that we reviewed, just remember, man, like treat your training partners well. Treat white belts with kindness, even though they may be spazzy and potentially dangerous, because
They're people too.
They are people too, and they can be
Screw both of you guys, all right?
given time and care, they could be excellent training partners, much like Frankie. Yeah, and watch out for bullshito. Just watch a video and just feel it out. If you feel like something is total BS, leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Ask somebody.
Ask somebody.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Don't get yourself caught up in the situation where you're gonna get effed up or killed. Ask somebody.
And if somebody pulls a gun on you, just
give them what they want.
Give them your wallet.
Guns or knives.
Keys.
Yep.
Don't think a knife is any less dangerous because they're within 20 feet. They're just as deadly. And with that, good night. Gentlemen, I'll see y'all later.
All right, see y'all.